called general class information, and the WebAssign link is there at the top. So it's like all the stuff I'm gonna go over today underneath it, like how to use the WebAssign if you get stuck, if you have never used it before, some shortcuts that help you like just save some time on the assignments, and then the WebAssign submission instructions should you have a question on like what's gonna get you full credit. No, that she said leave it. Yeah. So if you click on the link, it should take you to WebAssign, okay? This is how some of your assignments will be, not most of them, okay? In AP, the content doesn't really overlap that much, so we pull from a lot of different places. But one of the first things there is like 1.3, which we'll do next week, but, I still have to add stuff to this too, but the WebAssign practice assignment is literally just for you to practice submitting if you've never used it before. It is not a graded assignment. So if you want to practice it, just make sure you know how to do it, then you can click on that assignment and it will let you submit. Like there's a couple that you have to type the answer in. I think I gave you multiple choice, that kind of thing, so just so you get used to what it looks like. As far as expectations go from me, what I expect to see is the work from the assignment and then the screenshot of the score at the top. So one way to get the, like, you can do this multiple ways, but one way is literally screenshot just individual questions, bring them over. Split your screen, work on the left-hand side with the question on the right-hand side. This is personal preference. I do know which questions require work and which ones don't require work. So if you get a question that's a yes, no answer, whatever it is, and there's no work, I don't expect to see work for that question. It's fine. But it is something that takes a multi-step assignment or multi-step process, then I expect to see the work on it, okay? Anything that requires a graph, I would say sometimes it's frustrating to submit those things on WebAssign. I don't need anybody to lose sleep over like putting a line in. If you want the green check because it validates who you are as a person, then you can work to do that, okay? But you can also just screenshot the question and graph here. And then at the end, you're gonna get a score. The little box will look something like this, and in each box will give me like the score, right? I need to see your name in the top right corner, so it obviously needs to be yours, and I need to see the score. The rule is, which should have been the same for Algebra 2 honors, if you get an 80 or above with work, I automatically give you the 100. So the score, 80 or above, and you have the work to back it, automatically 100. If you miss questions or leave stuff blank, I will look for that work. If you miss a question and you have the work that you tried it and you just made a mistake, I still give you back the credit. So the only way you really lose credit on homework is you don't show the work or you literally just skip the questions. Does that make sense? Okay, these should be easy hundreds, okay? Not every question is going to be easy. I'm saying to get the credit for the assignment, it should be easy, okay? You get 3 attempts to get the question right. So if you get it wrong the first time, you can switch, it's fine, okay? But I don't need anybody, like, you guys tend to be perfectionists. And you'll be like, 3 a.m. still going, trying to make sure that a question is perfectly right so that you get the 100 at the end. I don't need that to happen, okay? And then you'll submit to me, again, the work and the screenshot of the score. The other way that you can get like the entire thing is if you open this in Safari. So if you send the WebAssign to Safari and you screenshot your page, you can switch it to page instead of, which we'll do this tomorrow with you, switch it to page instead of screenshot. And it will give you all the questions in one PDF, and you can send that to Notability, you can work on it, and then just simply add your score at the end, okay? So we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. But I want you to make sure that you can get in. So is everybody able to click on the link to WebAssign? If it said absolute value of a variable equals a negative number, that's not possible. But if it said absolute value of negative x, it just makes it positive. So that's a scenario, if I'm testing for symmetry, that's a scenario where it would go back to the original. But not if it was negative x plus 1. That's different. Only if the variable is isolated by itself.
Okay, and then if it's like trying to find like the x's and it's like negative x, absolute value negative x plus 1, would you do the 2 equations?
Like this? Or equals 1?
Equals, which would be the scenario with absolute value that you would do the 2?
When you get absolute value equals a number. And this could be absolute value of x plus 3 or absolute value of x minus 5, whatever it is, that number being a positive number. Yeah, which really won't happen today. Yeah, it would happen if you were like testing a point for y. Because today the only reason I would change that is if it was 0 and 0 won't be plus or minus 0. Yeah. Other questions? Everybody's good and comfortable with their calculators? Because we're going to start with that. So you're going to start with the graphing calculator portion first. And then you're going to literally take your calculator, put it on the ground, raise your hand, and I will bring you the second part of your quiz, okay? So we're gonna move.